In a move that is sure to generate a lot of excitement amongst golf fans, Cameron Smith has been announced as the headline act for next year's Australian Open. The young gun from Queensland will be looking to make big impact on his home tour, and he will no doubt receive a hero's welcome from the crowds. All that the PGA Tour now hopes is that the young star does not defect to the rival league. This and much more. Kicking us off, British Open champion Cameron Smith to headline Australian Open field. After World number 2, the Claret Jug is going to Australia. Cameron Smith confirmed that he will be the top player in Australia's two biggest tournaments during the summer of golf. Marc Leishman said the other day that he will go home for the first time since 2019. The next day, Smith added his name to the Australian PGA and Australian Open. This is the first time since the pandemic began that a full schedule of elite tournaments will be played. Smith will bring with him the trophies from his amazing win at the Open. He won at St. Andrews with an amazing 6-under back 9 on the last day. It was the 150th time that the oldest major in golf was held. Smith is close to joining Greg Norman's Saudi-backed LIV Golf Tour, but that won't stop the 29-year-old Queenslander from playing in the Australian PGA at Royal Queensland and the Australian Open at Kingston, Heath, and Victoria Golf Clubs in Melbourne. Both events are co-sanctioned by the DP World Tour, which has teamed up with the PGA Tour in the United States in response to Norman's idea. Because of this decision, defending champions Matt Jones, Australian Open, and Jed Morgan, Australian PGA, can now play in both tournaments. Smith could end the year as world number 1 after this week's Tour Championship, which is the last event in the FedEx Cup. He is still likely to get a warm welcome home, especially in Brisbane, where he is trying to win the Australian PGA for the third time. Smith, Leishman, Lucas Herbert, and Min Woo Lee will be the top Australian men at Australia's two biggest events. Hannah Green will play in the Women's Australian Open, which will be held at the same time as the men's tournament. Gavin Kirkman, the head of the Australian PGA, said that Smith's fellow Queenslanders have been itching to see Cameron in action again as his star has risen over the past few years. Despite all this, there are still rumors of him defecting to LIV. Cameron Smith, who won the Open Championship, is likely to be in the next group of PGA Tour players to switch to LIV Golf, sources told ESPN. Smith, who is ranked second in the official World Golf Ranking, will be the highest-ranked player to leave for LIV Golf, which is led by Greg Norman and funded by Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund. Marc Leishman of Australia, Harold Varner III of the United States, Joaquin Neyman of Chile, Anirban Lahir of India, and Cameron Tringle of the United States are also likely to join the LIV Golf circuit. These players, including Smith, are likely to take part in the next LIV Golf tournament, which will be held September 2nd through the 4th at the International in Boston. Sources told ESPN that Mito Pereira of Chile is also thinking about joining LIV Golf at some point in the future. Smith and Neiman were automatically put on the international team to play in the President's Cup from September 20th to the 25th at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jay Monahan, the commissioner of the PGA Tour, has banned players from playing in LIV Golf events. This means that those players can't play in the President's Cup, which is run by the PGA Tour. Rory McIlroy said that he talked to Smith 2 days after he won the Claret Jug at the 150th Open Championship at St. Andrews. McIlroy said that he wanted Smith to know what changes were coming to the PGA Tour. Monahan had said that the tour's best players had agreed to play in 20 tournaments starting in 2023. There will also be 13 elevated events with average purses of $20 million, and starting next year, the Player Impact Program bonus will go from $50 million to $100 million. Neiman told Golf Channel on Friday that he still hadn't decided what to do. Sports Illustrated and the Golf Channel both said on Saturday that he's likely to sign with LIV Golf and play in Boston. Next, in related news, LIV Golf joins antitrust lawsuit against PGA Tour. With money from Saudi Arabia, LIV Golf has joined the antitrust case against the PGA Tour. In an updated complaint, 4 players' names have been taken out. That means that 7 players, including Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, and LIV Golf, are now the only ones who can sue. The new complaint was sent to the U.S. District Court in Northern California on Friday afternoon. Matt Jones, Taylor Gooch, and Hudson Swafford, who are still named in the lawsuit, tried to get a temporary restraining order to keep them from playing in the FedEx Cup playoffs. 2 weeks ago, the judge said no to their request. The lawsuit says that the PGA Tour has tried to stop competition by using its monopoly power and unfairly suspending players. Greg Norman, the CEO of LIV Golf, said that the league would back the players in any legal action they took. The Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund now has a direct stake in LIV Golf. In the new complaint, LIV Golf says that if the judge doesn't rule in its favor, its ability to maintain a meaningful competitive presence in the markets will be destroyed. LIV Golf says that the PGA Tour's rules made it have to charge more to sign players and keep other people from joining because they were afraid of getting in trouble. It also says that the tour forced LIV Golf to delay its launch until 2022 and have a similar schedule in its first year. Even though LIV Golf started its tour with supra-competitive costs and less access to players, the new complaint says, facing headwinds of this nature is not sustainable. The PGA Tour has leaned on its rights that its members need a conflicting event release to play overseas, but no releases are given for North American events. This year, there are 5 LIV events like these planned. In denying the temporary restraining order, U.S. District Judge Beth Labson Freeman said that LIV Golf did not show irreparable harm because the people were making so much money from signing and prize money, and that the PGA Tour rules to suspend players in this case were not unfair. Freeman set a hearing for a summary judgment for July 23, 2023, and a possible trial date for January 8, 2024. Moving on, Scott Dunlap holds one-shot lead at the PGA Tour Champions Ally Challenge. Scott Dunlap got a 9 under 63 in the second round of the PGA Tour Championships, the Ally Challenge, on Saturday. He did this by making birdies on 5 of the last 6 holes. Dunlap, who is 59 years old, got to 11 under 133 at Warwick Hills with 9 birdies and no bogeys. In 2014, at the Boeing Classic, he won his only senior title. A little putter change that's helped this week, Dunlap said. Yesterday too, I hit the ball a little better, so you can't predict when something like this will happen, but it's a joy. Nowadays, just one day at a time. Steve Striker, Padraig Harrington, and Brett Quigley were all one stroke behind. Striker shot 64, Harrington shot 66, and Quigley shot 68. Last week in upstate New York, Harrington won the Dick's Sporting Goods Open. Harrington said, "I'm not in a good place going into tomorrow. Hopefully, more of what I saw today or last week will go nicely tomorrow." Ernie Els, 67, was 9 under with Duffy Waldorf, 66, and Stephen Ames, 69. Fred Funk shot a 75 the day after shooting a 65, which was 1 stroke better than his age. At 4 under, he was tied for 26th. Finally, Thriston Lawrence claims one-shot lead at European Masters. Thriston Lawrence's Saturday started early because he had to finish the 4 holes from his second round that were interrupted by bad weather. After 3 rounds of the European Masters, he was in the lead by 3 shots. Lawrence was back on the course at Cran-sur-Sierra Golf Club early Saturday morning. He birdied the par 4 18th hole to get a score of 64 and sat at 14 under, 1 shot behind leader Alejandro Canizares. The South African Lawrence shot a 67 in the afternoon with 5 birdies and 2 bogeys. This put him at 17 under, while Canizares' 73 dropped him down the leaderboard. Lawrence was 3 strokes ahead of Matt Wallace, who had a 68 after 2 64s. He had birdies at number 17 and 18. That put the Englishman at 14 under after another day of low scores in the thin air of the beautiful course in the Swiss Alps. Both Scotty Jamieson and Richard Mansell shot a 66, so they are tied for 3rd place with a score of 13 under. Canizares dropped to 12 under, which put him 5 shots behind the leader, Masahiro Kawamura and Adria Arnaus. Danny Willett won this tournament in 2015, 9 months before he won the Masters at Augusta. He shot a 64 and is now 8 shots behind the leader with a score of 9 under. Rasmus Højgaard, the defending champion, missed the cut by 1 stroke. He had a score of 76, which put him at 1 under. That's all the time we had for today. For more amazing golfing content, subscribe to the channel. Cheers!